يسوع ليس مجرد إنسان عادي أو مجرد نبي، بل هو الله نفسه جسد وعاش كإنسان.
My name is Rachid, and this is how I found the truth. Growing up as a kid in a Muslim conservative family was a little bit unique and different because our village is very small. We know each family, we know each member of the family. My dad was the imam of the mosque. Growing up in that family, you see your family is respected, your dad is respected. I kind of felt pride a little bit. After 5th grade, there is no school around. I had to move to Casablanca, and moving from a small village like ours to the big city of Casablanca was a culture shock for me. And also, it gave me some free time. I don't have to go to the mosque every day, and that's where my journey started because I had more time to do other stuff than just reading the Quran. During Ramadan, families encouraged us as kids, even though we didn't reach the age of 15, I was 12. I didn't have to fast, but I wanted to show that I can fast, so I stayed late. In order for me to stay late, I had to find something to keep me busy. So it was at night, and I was tuning. I hear Arabic, then I stopped. And it's clear Arabic talking about Jesus Christ. And naming him Yeshua, not Isa. Isa is the Muslim name for Jesus. And it was my first time to hear that. And then I hear things that contradict my faith as a Muslim. I hear that he was crucified on the cross. And I'm like, no, he wasn't. And then he is God himself. And I'm like, he's not. He's just a human being. He's a nice prophet, but he's not. And I'm listening and what is this? I couldn't wait until the morning so I can write a letter to these guys and explain to them that what they were saying in that program was not right. Weeks later, I received a letter from them. And I found that I don't know much about Christianity. So I wrote to them one day and I said, I want to know more. And they started explaining to me. And the more I learn, the more I'm eager to know more. And when I read the gospel and I started reading the words of Jesus, especially the Sermon on the Mount, something touched my heart. Something moved me from just a curious kid to a deeper level. The Jesus in the gospel, I just fell in love with him. I want to know more about him. I want to follow him. And I think that's when my whole thing started changing. And after 4 years of doing that, I just gave up and I said, I can't trust Islam anymore. It was probably the hardest year in that journey, that last year. Islam was not just a religion. It's everything in my life. It's my dad, my family, my society. And taking a step, leaving everything, is like your roots are taken away. It's a total change. So I couldn't handle it, and I was crying. And I was like, God help me, I can't do it. And at that moment, I felt I'm done with Islam. And I believe in Christ, but I didn't know how to say it. I just wrote a simple letter to my friends at the radio station and I told them, I think I'm a Christian. And then they responded and they referred me to a missionary who was American living in Casablanca. So he sent me a letter with his phone number. And in the coffee shop, he had a list of questions that he went through with me. And he was like, I think you're a Christian. I was like, what do you mean? They sent you to test me? And then he said, no, I just wanted to make sure that you understand what you're doing and what you're believing. Then I went to this meeting, beautiful meeting, Moroccans gathering together, sharing food, Moroccan tea, and songs, and the Bible. And the more I met more people, Moroccans, the more my faith grew. When I became a believer and my life started changing, my friends started changing, my habits started changing, and also I started avoiding all the rituals related to Islam, finding different excuses. My family noticed a change. Then, because the family told my mom, she felt embarrassed and she wanted to prove them wrong. So she gathered them one day and I was coming, and then I found the whole family gathered, and she said, my mom said, are you a Christian or a Muslim? I have to answer the question. I said, that's between me and God. Nobody has the right to ask me about my fate in my heart. And then my mom was like, just say the Shahada and show them, and that's it. Shahada means testimony. So you testify there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is the last messenger of Allah. I said, Mom, I cannot say it. As soon as you say to a Muslim, you cannot say the Shahada, it's actually you say you renounce Islam. As soon as I said it, I felt the whole world collapsed. I still remember it was surreal, like I didn't hear much, I just hear cries. My mom is crying, weeping, and everybody's talking around me, and some of them cursing me, and some of them, I just hear voices, get out of here, you filthy dog, and like some spitting and I just felt I'm leaving, and I just got out. And I went to the kiosk to call my missionary friend, and I told him what happened. And he said, do you know where are you going to go? And I said, no. So some of them invited me to their homes, like one night, 2 nights here, 1 night here. But unfortunately, I stayed homeless for 2 years. My life was shattered in front of my eyes. Sometimes I cried, and I just said, God, why you allowed this to happen? I'm just a kid. But again, when I look backwards, I say, if I didn't go through those moments, I would not understand what a conversion means. So those moments, when I look back to them, they were also the happiest moments in my life. You will ask, why? Because I had nothing to rely on except God. Usually, oh my goodness. This is overwhelming. Usually people rely on money, social status, family, job, education. I had none. I had only Jesus. When you remove all those layers, it's just bare faith, nothing else. You just trust God and you follow Him. After those 2 years, the missionary that I was visiting from time to time, he said, Rachid, I want you to move in, build in my life again. And I started connecting back with my family, and I started visiting, and I started showing them love. And I said, Mom, I'm not coming back because you twisted my arm, and now I have nowhere to go, and I just want to come back from my family. I'm just coming because I love you. My dad didn't want to see me. He rejected me. He renounced me in front of his friends and everybody. He said, I don't have a son. And I tell my mom, is it time to meet him? And she said, no, just wait. So she was the mediator between me and him, like every mom. And she tried to calm things. And I told her I love him, and Jesus taught me just to love you more. There is nothing else. One of the good things, believers in Morocco, the underground church, they do summer Bible school. And then in one of those schools, I met my wife. And then we got married, we got our little apartment. And then we started hosting believers inside of our apartment. And when we started hosting people, somebody got inside of the group, and he was just a journalist who was trying to see what Christians are doing. I trusted him. And then he turned out he's taking our stuff and telling the secret services and also the newspaper. Then at a certain moment, it just exploded, and everybody knows about me, even the local mosque. I got threatened by both the secret services and also by a local mosque. So all these kind of things made us decide to leave Morocco once for all. When I moved out of Morocco, first of all, I didn't have the intention to start a ministry right away. My heart stayed in Morocco. But I got an invitation from a friend, and he said, would you come on TV? It's like, I have no experience on TV. And then I told my wife, she said, what do you think? I said, I either we do it or we should stay away from the gospel, because the gospel is dangerous. It requires you to risk even your life. So we prayed, and I called my friend and I said, I'm in. And I went on air. The first time I received an email from a person, I cried. Somebody, his life touched by my testimony, and he said, I heard your testimony. I want to be a believer. I want to be a follower of Christ. And I said, if it's only for this soul, it's worth it. Then we moved to a live show, from recorded to live. When I was about to do live show, I need help. I can't do it. I'm facing people on air, and I can't. What if somebody asked me like a difficult question? And the team that was doing technical stuff, they said, no, you can do it, Rachid. Just go. And I was like, what if nobody calls? It would be embarrassing. Then I went on air. And the producer in my ear, he says, Rachid, it's unbelievable. Hundreds of calls from Middle East. The phone lines got jammed and turned off. The servers turned off. And people are calling from Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Morocco, Algeria. Some of them want to debate. Some of them, they want to curse me, but some of them are searching for the truth. And since then, I'm still doing it. And I never regretted starting that program that day. I have seen lives change. I have seen people with tears giving their lives to Jesus Christ. I have seen people whom they got rescued from ISIS, from fanatic groups, and their lives changed. And every time I'm amazed how God uses the gospel and media to change people's lives. And I believe, personally, I found the truth in Jesus Christ. He said about himself, I am the truth. He's the source of all truth. So if you are watching this video, from my heart, I ask you to take a moment. Just dig deep inside of you. Just a little prayer. It doesn't have to be fancy with fancy words. Just sincere from the heart. Tell him, God, help me search for the truth. Help me find you. Lead me. Show me yourself. I give you my heart. I give you my life. Just lead me in this journey. I believe words that are coming from our hearts. They are meaningful, and they will help you in your journey. It's not easy. I went through it. It's not something simple. I know it's complicated. But I believe if you are sincere, you will get there, as I did, and the Lord will help you in your journey. My name is Rachid, and I found the truth.